Guten Tag, and welcome back to your weekly cosmic forecast. We are talking about the week of December 16th through December 22nd. It's a doozy. I'm Kaerhart, and I'm a numerologist and astrologer, and this is my best friend, Sophie,
astrologer and celestial guide, and Sherpa now.
And we're excited to dive into the numerology and astrology of the week. But before we do, subscribe, please. Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that button.
Yeah. You want to hit that button because every Monday we release these cosmic forecasts, and I don't know anywhere that's talking about the numerology and the astrology of the week. So I think it's fun and exciting, and I hope you do too. So follow along, follow the journey, hit that subscribe button. But anyways, this is an exciting week. We're coming off the craziness of last week. All of those love transits and the unexpected and the energy of the 5. And now we're in the numerological 6. So 6 is a interesting one.
One of my favorite numbers.
Yeah, 6 is great. 6 is really the number of love. So this is a week of love. So, you know, it's actually nicknamed the marriage or divorce number in numerology. So this could be one of these weeks where you really deepen your relationship with a loved one, or you meet someone new. I always tell my clients, you know, the best time to meet someone is in a 2 or a 6, because those are the numbers that have to do with relationships and love. So relationships are going to take center stage this week. That could be family, friendships, your partner, whatever, right? All relationships. And 6 is really the number of healing and nurturing as well. So there might be some deep healing that you're working through this week. And again, nurturing goes hand in hand with the 6. So not just how you nurture others, but how you nurture yourself. Do you feel nurtured? Do you feel nourished? How do you feel about your relationships? Do you feel loved properly? How do you like to be loved? Right? I think a lot of people don't even think about that. They just get into relationships. And I remember my last partner, I remember when we first started dating, I asked him, like, when do you feel most loved? And he genuinely was like, no one's ever asked me that question.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised because he'd been in several relationships. But I think it's really important. Like, how do you want to be loved? When do you feel the most loved? Do you communicate that to the people that are around you? And then again, with your partners, you can even ask, like, when do you feel the most loved and supported by me? Like, how can I be there for you, right? So this is a week to really strengthen your bonds. And it's also a time where you're going to be really focused on responsibilities. So responsibilities probably in the home are going to be coming up more this week, especially because we're on the holidays.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, what are the things you need to tend to and take care of? The thing about the 6, though, is that they tend to take on way more than they should. Like, they think that they have to, like, save everyone, do everything. And it's like, no, like, what are your actual responsibilities?
Yeah.
Like, what are the things you need to show up for? And then what are the things that you're just putting on yourself that are putting pressure on you? Right? And getting really clear on that. Like, what are those responsibilities and what's weighing you down versus, like, what are the responsibilities that are actually supporting you and building your dream life? So again, that's the energy of this week. It's very love, relationships, home, finding that balance between, you know, a loving home life and a career that's lighting you up and that
I'm looking at the
in.
astrology notes. Would you also say 6 is about, like, balance too, or is that more of a 2?
So 2 is just general balance. 6 is about balance between really that home and career, right? So the 6's journey is to have, you know, this amazing family life that really lights it up, and then also have this career that they just are like, oh my God, I love this. It's having that perfect balance. A good example of this is Victoria Beckham is a life path 6.
Yeah.
And she's very much about family and her home life, but she also is a very successful entrepreneur. So it's about finding the balance and being able to have both, being able to be that nurturer.
Yeah. And I say that because December 21st is the solstice day.
Oh, yeah.
And solstices are all about inner harmony, balance. So if you guys don't know what a solstice is, it's when the sun appears to be the highest or the lowest, depending on wherever you are in the world, point. And energetically, it's all about balance, inner harmony. And so it's really about reflecting on setting intentions for the future as well. And so this goes really nicely with all of the really great questions that you had to ask yourself about what makes you really feel loved. How do you want to feel loved? Because oftentimes we don't know that about ourselves, and then you can't recalibrate with giving self-love back to you. And so that's really like the biggest aspect, in my opinion, that I'm seeing. We also have the Venus trine Jupiter happening Friday, December 20th. And so Venus is the goddess of love, relationships, beauty,
Money.
abundance, money. And then it's in a really positive aspect, trining Jupiter,
which is all about expansion and good fortune.
Yes, blessings. And so with this 6 energy, I feel like, oh, Friday, December 20th is going to be looking great for us out there. And then we end the week, December 22nd on Sunday, with the sun squaring the north node and the south node. So I think that that's actually preparing us for what's coming up the following week. Actually, Sunday technically is the following week, right?
It depends, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out because in the States, the calendar starts on Sunday, but in England, it starts on Monday.
Yeah.
I've gotten all confused living here. I don't know.
Well,
would you say it starts on Monday or Sunday?
Sorry, say that again.
The week.
Monday.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Because Americans will sometimes start it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
So,
you know, British, I trust the British. I trust the Brits. Their accents are interesting. Well, depending on where you're from, though. I don't know.
Yeah. I was like,
I'm trusting.
Yeah, your accent is trusting.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's really interesting because I think that this aspect is all about challenging whether, like I said, you're actually authentically in alignment with yourself. And if you're really fully balanced in the self as well. So the sun square, the north node and the south node is a very karmically heavily loaded day. It's a fated day, but that's not to really worry any of you out there. It's more about inviting in alignment and an energy to make sure that you're wrapping up the year feeling ultimately good about where you're at in life. And if you're not, it's okay. You can take action. It's never too late. I think I said this in the last episode. It's never too late to start a new journey.
Yeah, just like Sam and Frodo. If I can talk about Lord of the Rings, I'm going to. It really energizes me and excites me.
I know, you love it.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to love?
So that's what our week is looking like. I always like to celebrate Solstice Day because, you know, oftentimes like we don't give enough to ourselves. And I like to dedicate Solstice Day to really feeling good, feeling balanced and self-care and really also like giving gratitude. I don't think we've really even talked about that, how gratitude is like one of the best practices you can have that nourishes the soul. So give some gratitude this week. Have gratitude for yourself, for your loved ones, for everything you do have, and know that no matter what, everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to jump on that bandwagon. And the last thing I'll say is that gratitude is the only emotion that transmutes all negative emotions. So if you're in a pickle, you're in a bad place, express gratitude. And I even have done this when I've been in really tough times in my life, like going through a really bad breakup. I'll be like, I'm so grateful for this breakup. I'm so grateful for all the lessons I'm learning. I'm so grateful. And you say that, even though like at the time when I was saying that, I was devastated and just really struggling, you know? Or even when I've been sick and nothing is worse than being sick.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm grateful for this feeling, this moment. I'm appreciating my health. I'm grateful for the lessons I'm learning. It really does transmute some of that angst that you can feel. And I used to do daily gratitude lists, and, you know, you can write out just like 5 things a day. First thing in the morning was when I like to do it was, you know, I'm grateful for this. But what really changed the game for me are 2 things. One, I'd say I'm grateful for, you know, my home. And then I'd put why. And I feel like that really like solidifies it. Like, I'm grateful for my home because I remember when I didn't have a home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grateful that I'm financially stable because I remember when I couldn't pay my bills.
Yeah.
Right. And that really just locks it in. And then not forgetting to be grateful for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. People always will like list out all these things. And instead, I think it's important to be like, I'm grateful for myself because you're the one who got yourself through the darkest times of your life. Like people might have assisted you and helped you, but it was you that had to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like being grateful for, I got myself through the hardest times. I built the life that I have right now.
Yeah.
Like give gratitude for you.
Yes.
That's right. And we're going to end on that note because that's the highest note you
That
can end
is.
on. Unless we're talking about Lord of the Rings, which I won't do that again. And we will see y'all next week. And again, if you are enjoying these videos, you like numerology, you like astrology, you want to learn more, check the description box because we have links to a Numerology 101 course, my reports, my book, the whole thing. And Sophie also has a Vedic astrology course and her Vedic reports you can check out if you want to understand Vedic astrology more. So with that, I'll say goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, and we will see you next week.